Hello again, and we are into part 3 of my Marvel Legends collection, and this is actually my last little section before we do our updates. This is my Spider-Man, Iron Man, and more. This is my Spidey collection. You can see I have like a lot of different, all of the different variations of the Spider-Man figure that they've put out in kind of close proximity as kind of a compare and contrast. I also try to have one of all of the different Marvel Knights, main characters, the Punisher, and you can see the Daredevil, Elektra, Moon Knight. There's a few more of the different incarnations of Spider-Man that they've put out for us. Here in the foregrounds, I put the ladies in the foreground because they're smaller and you can kind of see through them. My favorite one is the Pizza Spider-Man, so we have to have him up close in front. And then over on the side, again, a few more variations there. We have the original Daredevil and the newer Ghost Rider along with some of the older ones. Misty Knight, and we have Deadpool in there, of course, as well. Connecting and in between, I have different versions of the Goblin and Hobgoblin hanging from the top of the bookshelf. You can kind of see them in the corners there. It's a nice way to hang figures and kind of keep them out of the way. I kind of continued this idea of different versions. You can see all the different versions of the Punisher there in the back, and then carried over to the other side. That's the Marvel Select Rhino, different versions of the Beetle character. Then we have the family of Venom, everyone from Carnage to the Anti-Venom little. That's the old school Sandman who had interconnecting limbs. He's a really great figure if you're looking for just a solid Sandman. Moving over to the other side, I put together just a collection of kind of alternative versions of some of the main bad guys there. A very, very dinky Daredevil from way back in the day. That's actually from the Spider-Man figure series. That's what I did with my two versions of the Chameleon. I have Jonah Jameson as kind of a mask. A few more of my hanging characters. We have the transparent Iron Spider-Man. And then this is my main bad guy section where I kind of used one of every great version of the bad guys. Again, more of the family Venom there. We have Carnage and a few others. Moving down, you can see Hydro Man. That's actually the Sandman from the movie. It's kind of a figure / statue, but it works great because Sandman could change his size. The Sinister Six and others. Moon Knight, one of the great weird, or Moon Wolf, excuse me, was just a weird character that they had. He actually howls and his ruby shines if you press the back. A few versions of Doc Ock there, and then again, this is a mixture of Marvel Legends and some of the old Spider-Man figures. Again, I try to get one of every character. There's a great Mysterio figure in there where if you press the button, his face spins around on the inside. He had 3 different faces. This is moving down into my Iron Man collection, just kind of showing off all the different versions. You'll also notice that I've left a lot of kind of room in the front for some of the newer figures from 2015 that I still need to kind of work in there. These are some of the Marvel Select I try to put in the back because they're a little bit larger in scale. Some of the stranger versions of Iron Man that they've put out for us to enjoy. But again, the cool thing is you can always just put the Iron Man figures together, and Hasbro loves to put out repaints of Iron Man, and you can kind of get a nice Hall of Armor kind of feel. Those are all just different gray versions, kind of early prototype versions, and of course we have different versions of War Machine in there as well. Moving over, I hung some of the extra versions too. There was the Iron Man figure series and a lot of different variations there as well. You can see in the back there I've done the same thing I did with my Spider-Man figures and some of my other figures I did with Captain America. They put out so many different versions of him that I just put them all in a row, and you can kind of do a Captain America through the years, if you will. This also has some of my movie figures in it. These are different versions of the Iron Man movie figure, and you can see there's some space there. I have the Build-A-Figure yet to put together. Here we have a little of the movie section. I'm cheating with my Thor. I don't quite have the movie Thor yet, and again, hanging these figures with just those normal black clips and just using one of the rubber bands around their waist and hanging them from the outside, putting them over in the corners. It's kind of a good use of space. Here we have more Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy movie figures, that kind of thing. Some of the larger figures, again, you kind of put in the back, and then you put the smaller figures in the front. Helps with the scale, and again, I have a big section there because I know I've got a few figures coming for Christmas that I'm going to put in. But more of the movie figures, we have the Daredevil movie and some of the Ghost Rider figures, all of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Iron Man figure that actually came with that set. Here's my Hulk figures, and Hulks I just have all in one row there, but they're all different sizes, and usually I just don't bleacher them up, as I call it, but with this I'll do that, because usually with the Hulk figures it is just kind of their heads that matter. There's the Mecha Hulk in the back there, one of my favorite old school figures. If you can find him, he's worth the grab. He comes with a tiny gremlin figure. She-Hulk's in the front. Mr. Fix-It. We have the old Absorbing Man and some of the smaller figures they put out in the Hulk line. Again, the old Bruce Banner figure. We have Doc Samson and some of the figures from the different lines that they definitely put out. Up at the very top, I kind of have my space section. Some of the neater figures that kind of go there. Here's the Fantastic Four. I have a ton of Fantastic Four figures, but only so much with them. I can stand, if you will. Here we have different versions of the Nova Corps and Impossible Man. In the back there, you can see a rare Watcher Marvel Select figure. It's the only figure I know of that they ever put out of the Watcher. He's a great find as well. Some of the cartoon Guardians of the Galaxy figures that they put out. We have the Death Head Galactus, the only box that's actually an action figure, and this is just kind of a continuation of that. I also have my Norman Osborn Green Goblin unmasked up there, high, looking down, kind of fun. More of the figures from the Galactus box set, and you can kind of see Fin Fan Foom in the background, all creatures we would see kind of up in space, if you will. There's my Marvel Select Zombies, just the Wave ones. Over in the corner, this is another side. I have all of the variants of the Marvel icons and just a few other harder to find things, a lot of things from the Comic-Cons as well.